Spoilers. Welcome back to Game of Thrones, the Game of Thrones recap show that's all about the ladies. Here are our current standings. Still in last is Cersei with -3, followed by Ilaria with 1/2 and Ygritte with 1. After that, we have newcomer Asha/Yara Greyjoy, who makes an impressive first jump onto the board with 3. Sansa Stark currently has 5, followed closely by Marjorie Tyrell with 5.5 and Daenerys with 6. In third place, we have Brienne of Tarth, who still has 7, followed by Arya with 9, and still in first place is Nana Tyrell, the Queen of Thorns herself, with 10. Nana. Marjorie's at the top of our board, but she wasn't in this episode. Daenerys was in this episode.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of moments in this show where women are fully nude and men are completely clothed in a very power position, appraising women. Yeah. And this is a situation where you have a fully clothed queen just checking out a man.
Checking out some wiener.
Just checking out some wiener. Just
checking it out.
Seeing where she's come from in terms of her sexuality, where she was initially in her last relationship was initially a very passive character, and for her to be calling all of the shots in a very forward, frank, aggressive way is kind of really fun to watch.
It's pretty awesome.
And I also enjoy that the scene after when Jorah comes in and she's like, well then, okay, change of plan, we're gonna do this thing. And tell him that you changed my mind. I like that she was like, don't let him think that just because I got to see the D, that he's getting to make, getting me to make different decisions. Yeah. Tell him that you changed my mind. I say 1 point for getting to see the D and another point for good strategy.
Cersei Lannister.
I am going to argue she has picked a good champion.
I agree.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
I think that she is still as train wrecky as ever.
Oh, yeah.
However, I think her choice of champion, I think she should get a point for it.
It was really good.
I know, see, that's the thing. I'm conflicted. She should get a point because it was a good decision.
Yep.
But I also want to take away a point from her because she's such a fucking bitch.
But she's playing.
She's
she's
trying to kill her brother, and it's upsetting.
I agree. I love Tyrion, but you know what? If we're talking about Cersei looking out for Cersei,
yeah.
she is. So
fine.
I say 1 point for Cersei. Nana Tyrell was also not in this episode. Sansa Stark.
Oh my god.
No.
Great moment with her building the castle at Winterfell and trying to recapture those memories. It got terrible when her cousin kicked down her castle and then Littlefinger came out and started making out with her, and
it went all kinds of To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, it did. I mean, here's the thing. Here's why I'm going to argue that Sansa doesn't need to lose any points is that she is still hanging in there.
I think most of us, if a crazy woman tried to throw us out of a hole, we'd have a lot less composure than Sansa Stark.
It's true.
But I think she should get 1 point for smacking that kid.
I think for slapping the kid that everybody has wanted to slap.
Yeah.
I'll give her a point.
Yeah.
I still think she should get a point, but I argue that her point comes from the fact that, as previously mentioned, she remained much more composed in a almost certain death situation than many, many people would.
Agree.
Arya Stark.
I have so many feelings about Arya Stark because, people are always like, man, Arya Stark kicking so much ass this week. And I'm like,
she is.
But guys, we're watching a baby murder people.
Yeah.
And it's really upsetting.
I do think that from Arya's perspective, everything she is doing is for the greater good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because her list of people she wants to kill are all, frankly, horrible.
We also have a very sweet encounter with Arya and the Hound in that she has referred to herself as being alone and no one has helped her, and he has a very good point of saying, your brother gave you a sword. And it's, in his own way, he's saying, your family loved you, and that love matters.
I'm so indifferent to Arya getting a point or not this week, because I feel like it's more like, oh, the Hound should get a point, because I don't know that she fully acknowledged the gravity of the statement he made to her about her family loving her.
Also,
so
I don't want to give her a point for slowly losing her soul. I feel bad.
I'm gonna say no points for Arya.
Brienne of Tarth.
I loved that she and Pod met Hot Pie in this episode.
I almost cried a little bit.
And then, like, Hot Pie just, like, sat himself down at their table and, like, wouldn't stop talking to them. But ultimately, though, obviously she was annoyed with him, she did garner some pretty useful information.
Yeah, pretty
She
good.
did.
Pretty good.
She
You know.
needs to work on her subtle interrogation
Yes.
techniques.
Yeah.
But part of what makes Brienne is the fact that she is so simple a person in a positive way.
In a
She's
very positive way,
She's
yes.
a very honest, forward person.
Yep.
She doesn't have it in her to lie and sneak and
No,
have.
that's
like,
not her. I say
works.
I see a
that Brienne, should get a point.
I wouldn't do that strategy all the time, but it was very effective this time.
Ygritte was not in the episode. Ilaria was not in this episode. Asha/Yara was not in this episode. So
That was pretty much it.
that was
for
it,
the
guys.
ladies.
That's it. That's all that happened with the ladies on this episode of Game of Thrones. So that's it for this episode of Dame of Thrones. As always, guys, keep voting. Thank you so much to those of you who have. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter @NerdStreet. Find us on Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. Any kind of social media is an acceptable means of communicating your votes to us for
love them all.
for who you think should receive points in this episode of Game of Thrones. So keep voting, guys, and we'll see you all next week.